Toughness. Today we have a legendary guest in the house, former Muay Thai champion and head coach of the Knowlesy Academy, the one and only Christian Knowles. This man has got a fight career that's the stuff of legends, going undefeated in the UK Muay Thai scene, and it doesn't stop there. He's taken his skills to the coaching world, creating just as much success as a coach. He's been crowned Coach and Gym of the Year in 2018. He's got some top fighters like Nolan and Jonathan Haggerty in his camp. We're about to dive deep into the life of a fighter and learn what it takes to be successful. Welcome, Christian.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Rima.
So, Christian, take us back to the glory days of your fighting career. What's the story behind those epic moments that made you the Muay Thai champion all over the world?
So I got into fighting. A friend of mine was actually fighting all around the world, Nick Wilson, and he basically brought it back to me. We were working together as lifeguards. And he said, Chris, you've got to try this. It's a fantastic sport. It'll change your life forever. And it did. So once I started training, wanted to compete straight away and fell in love with the sport and the challenges and everything that goes with it. And it did. It changed my life.
So how old were you when that happened? You said lifeguard, so I'm guessing 17.
17, yeah, straight after school.
How many years was your career?
10 years. So
you had a good go of it?
Yeah. I didn't start competing straight away. I started fighting when I was 23. I think my coach was being super protective because I'm not massive for a heavyweight. But then my first year I had 12 fights. So I had 2 fights in 1 month and then pretty much a fight every month and won every one. Actually, there was one draw against a really good fighter, Andrew Kiprianu, but the rest were all wins.
That's amazing. I mean, for a new fighter, just dominate like that. What do you think the keys to your success were?
I think passion for it, absolutely obsessed with it. Loved it, doing it every day. I've done it before work and after work and sometimes at lunch breaks. Just doing it as much as I could to the point where my coaches would like have a day off, but I found that difficult. I loved it. And belief in yourself, belief that you can do it. I think that was one of my biggest attributes. I don't think technically I was that good as a fighter, but I had strong belief that I could beat them and a willingness to go and give it everything I can.
You've talked a little bit about that. I was listening to some of your interviews and you mentioned that you have to have a tiny bit of ego in order to be successful, tempered with humility, of course. I think you were onto something with that, like a little bit of self-belief. So how do you instill that in yourself and your fighters?
I think that has to come from within. I think the team I was with, Minotaurs, was a really strong team, the best down south in my opinion. And there was champions all around me and people that were trying to do the same things as I was trying to do. And so you sort of feed off each other. I think having a good team and good coaches, like my coaches had a little bit of ego. They wouldn't have been doing what they were doing. I'm so sorry. Someone's trying to ring me.
No problem.
They wouldn't have been able to do what they achieved if they hadn't have had that slight bit of ego that we were talking about. You have to have that, and the fine line, the balance. I think we're always trying to find the balance. I think that's part of the challenges in life. To when you overstep, bring yourself back a little bit. When you go either side of it, I don't think you can ever get it right. But to aim to get it right is very important. I think the goal. I think I might have gone off topic there. Did I?
No, you're totally on topic. And I'm sure our viewers will appreciate your insights. Now, it's not every day that you see a fighter transition into a top-tier coach. What led you to hang up the gloves and step into the coaching game?
In total honesty, financially, the gym was in such a bad way. Would have probably lost it if I hadn't have started to focus on the business. It was always a place to train more than a business. And I was probably going to lose the venue that we had. So... And it was the right time as well. Like I had lots of guys that I was training and they were doing really good things, but I couldn't put all of my energy in them or me. And going back to the balance thing, it wasn't right. So I made the decision. MPL, Muay Thai Premier League, I don't know if you remember that. It was a really good organisation, but unfortunately, financially, that went bankrupt. And that added to the financial difficulties that I had. So that was pretty much the reason.
And do you find that it's much more lucrative to be a coach now?
Than what it was then, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
One championship's changed the game. A lot of UFC fighters and MMA fighters really respect and want to learn from the Thai boxing and the kickboxing. So UFC, as well as one championship, them massive organisations has brought so much more to the sports.
Yeah, I agree. So one's massive. How do you find, you just mentioned that they're differentiating and they're elevating the game. How do you think they're doing that? What sets them apart from, let's say, other leagues or other promotions?
Their commitment to the sport and their vision, their CEO, Chartry Sitchatong, his vision for the sport, knowing the potential the sport's got and then seeing where it can go. I think his eye for that and the way he chooses a team that have that same vision and that same purpose to get it to where it should be, I think that's the deciding factor. And I think it's love and passion for the sport. See all of these things interconnect, because if you want success in the world, all them things that I've just mentioned that One Championship are doing, that's what you need as a fighter. That's what you need as a good businessman. That's what you need in any field in life. Them factors will help you get there where you want to go.
Oh, I 100% agree. Passion takes you everywhere, right? Because when motivation's dead, discipline's dead, the passion's going to push you through. So speaking on that kind of wavelength, let's talk about secrets to success. What sets a good fighter apart from a great one, in your opinion?
Technique, obviously. But that's so obvious. I think really it's the subtle things like belief, like believing they can do it. Discipline, showing up when you don't want to show up, not being too negative when you have your bad days. I think sometimes we can all get very down on ourselves and be self-critical and harsh. I think it's important to focus on the good, focus on the bad, but in a positive way, on a way that you can grow and get better, not in a way that I suck and there's nothing I can do about it. There's always something you can do about it. Yeah.
So what are some of the things that people might get down on? Like, is it sometimes their gas tanks out, or they feel like they've just messed up their techniques and they're not on that day? What are some of the things that you've heard a lot as a coach, and how do you kind of pull your fighters out of that funk?
I think the worst one, I think with cardio, I think everyone knows that they can do the steps they can take to improve that. I mean, some don't right at the beginning of their journey, but I think sparring's the main one. When you turn up and you have fighters, that if you assess them, if you have a chat with them after their sparring session, what they've got going on in their head is like very far away from what actually happened. So you can have a fighter say, I was absolutely shocking today, terrible. But I, as a coach, have just watched that sparring session and they've been awesome, apart from one or two things that can really easily be changed and corrected. But they're having mentally a bad day. So the bad is amplified and made worse, and it's all they can focus on. And that's where they go. That's where they can sometimes go wrong, when they're too hard on themselves and they focus on what went wrong more than what went right, and not having a balanced view. Like, okay, that went wrong. How can I change it? I've done that really well. Sometimes we all guilty of being too harsh on ourselves and focusing on the bad too much.
100%. As a coach, do you just stop that in the moment, or do you just kind of after say, okay, I know you're feeling down, but this is normal?
Yeah, it depends on the situation. If it's really bad, I'd probably nip it in the bud straight away and put them aside and have a chat with them. And they've all had it. So my guys are quite aware of it because I put them all the time. But usually I'd if it's not too bad, I'll do it at the end. But if it's really bad, I'll do it straight away.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure they appreciate that. Your fighters are great. They're next level. I know coaching ain't easy, but clearly you've cracked the code. You've touched a little bit about like how you approach your coaching. So how do you motivate your fighters and get them firing in all cylinders?
I think if we've got the same goals, if the coach and the fighter have the same goals for each other, like not each other, but for themselves. So if I can find out what they want to do and where they want to go, and then we're working towards that, I think that's the easiest way.
Right. A shared vision.
Yeah. But if we know, like some guys will know straight away where they want to go, and then you just choose smaller goals and bit by bit. Some guys only know the small steps, so you do that and then the next one and the next one and build up. But basically shared vision, exactly that.
Makes sense. Now there's always that one fight that pushes a coach to their limits, and I've seen some coaches losing their shit on the sidelines. Tell us about the most challenging fight prep that you've had with one of your fighters and how you turned that into their favor.
Fight prep. The most challenging fight prep. They all seem so challenging.
Yeah.
It's really difficult. I don't know if it's because there's been so many, or I find all of them quite challenging. There's not one that's really picked up, but like injuries, the most recent one, Nongo and John. John was injured a couple of times during that fight camp, and it was like, we can do it, we can get around it. Like, let's just train everything else. And it wasn't hard for me to convince. He was on the same page as me straight away, but so we were like, okay, you can't use your leg, let's use everything else. Okay, you can't use your hand, let's use everything else. Like, that was quite challenging. But saying that, I don't know if it was challenging because he wanted the opportunity so bad. It was quite easy to guide round.
Right. You got it done. So you guys really achieved, you pulled it off. Were you relieved, or were you kind of like, damn right?
No, I was very emotional. I think that's probably the most emotional I've been. Maybe because of the challenges, but also because he won the flyweight world title, and I think maybe both of us, me as a coach and him as a fighter, weren't quite ready. And we've worked so hard, and he's worked so hard, and I've worked so hard. I've tried to improve as a coach to get, not just to get John that one championship world title back, but that was a big reason why I put my head down and studied and worked even harder, because it was heartbreaking losing that.
Yeah, the belt. You mentioned also before that you definitely share the emotions with your fighters. I've heard you say that before also. How do you stay strong when you're feeling emotional in the corner? Because they're always looking to you, because it's like, look at the flight attendants on a flight, right? So how do you manage that in the moments of heat?
So I think I'm good at it. I think I can deal with. How do I deal with them? I don't know. That is a good question. I just deal with them. But I didn't get emotional with John's fight until it was done. Once it was done, I was the last one in the ring because I was so emotional ringside. All the guys were in there celebrating. But how do I deal with it? I'm not sure. I think, like you said, because they're looking at me, I've got no choice but to be strong. So I think it helps a lot.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, emotions are hard to manage, so that's a good insight. I think mindset is something that a lot of people want to learn how to fortify. So, and that's a good insight to understand that there are people watching you and that you kind of have to model the way.
It's easier when it's just easier to be strong when you have to be strong.
And do you think it's part of being British, maybe too, the stiff upper lip?
Yeah, I think so. I think that does help.
Yeah, sorry, that's just my stereotype that I know about you guys.
No, and it's right. We've got a dry sense of humour. We're in a bad situation. John can tell you about some things in the corner that we've said to each other, and some people go, "You guys are nuts." But yeah, it is that we've got to get on with it. We've got to soldier on.
Okay, so Knowlesy Academy, it's synonymous with excellence. Everyone says their gym is different. What makes your gym different?
I think just everybody that comes in there, even the guys that don't want to compete, they're still trying to be the best they can be at Thai boxing and kickboxing, and the guys that do want to compete, they all want to be on one championship. They all want to follow John and Liam. They want to be a WBC world champion like my brother and Liam, and they see the guys. They see the guys doing so well, and it just sort of flows down, and like everybody's sort of on the same path, in the same direction.
And how do you manage the different personalities that walk into your gym? Like, I'm sure there are some people who walk in and they think they know it all, and then there's others who don't know anything and maybe don't have confidence. How do you kind of get everyone on the same page so they have that shared vision that you were mentioning before?
I'm not sure. I think years ago I used to have so many personalities, and I'm sure I still do now, but I think people sort of, that's a tricky one.
Maybe it rubs off on them. Maybe like the vibe is good.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I just couldn't articulate it correctly. But they pretty much like, I don't want to sound like a dictator, because I'm not. If you come in, it's not like a lot of martial arts gyms. You have to have this, you have to have that, you have to do that, you can't do that. Like, there's a lot more freedom to that, but they sort of, they sort of, I don't know how to articulate it, but like, it's not as, they don't seem to be as different as they used to be back in the day.
Right. So what do you think is different now? Do you think there's just a better attitude?
Yeah, definitely a better attitude. I think the people that are coming to us as well now, a lot of the time they've studied the sport, or they've looked into the sport and they want to join the sport, and they've chosen the Nolan Academy because they've already done their research. So I think back in the day, we used to have people walk in, would never even heard of Thai boxing, and want to give it a go. And then you'd have some real funny characters. But I think now more of the people join us, they're already educated about Thai boxing and kickboxing.
Speaking of your gym, you've got some top-notch fighters and you mentioned them, Liam Nolan, Jonathan Haggerty in your corner. It's all eyes on you. How do you handle the pressure to keep your cool? You've produced these crazy good fighters. So do you ever feel that there's a lot of pressure on you to repeat the performances that they're giving? Or do you just kind of say whatever happens is meant to happen?
I can't remember who said it, but I always say it to the guys. They probably know because I probably quoted it to them and told them who said it. But pressure is a privilege, and it's
LeBron
not always.
James.
It was LeBron, yeah, and it's
Yeah.
not always afforded to everyone. So be grateful for it.
That's a good one. That's a really good one. And I think that does snap you into kind of the mindset you need to be in. So you've been a fighter and a coach, double the experience, so double the knowledge. What's the most profound lesson that you've learned from living both sides of the fight game?
You've got me.
So I guess I'll contextualize it. So I'm a beginner. What's something that you've learned along your journey that you wish you knew before that you would just tell me, focus on this or don't worry about this?
Walk in the gym, just bit by bit, get better and better and better. And little steps can they lead to giant leaps. And people always want to leap before they can take the baby steps. Just consistency, persistency and discipline, and chip away. And if you keep chipping away, there's no limit. You can go so far. You can go so much further than you think you can.
That's good advice. And I think a lot of people like me would really appreciate to hear that, because a lot of times you want to give up when you feel like I'm not getting that kick, or I feel like I don't know what I'm doing.
And usually when you feel like that, I'm so sorry, but when you get that feeling, that's usually internally you're so close to getting over that boundary, and it's just that last hurdle and just stopping yourself. If you can just get past that emotion, that's usually where the gold is.
That's good to know. I will definitely plug that into my mind when I'm thinking that. And then on the topic of mindset, so mental toughness, I've heard this said so many times. It's a game changer in the past with yourself, and how do you now with your fighters develop that ironclad mindset? And we talked about it a little bit, but specifically mental toughness. How do you think that factors in?
I mean, it's massive. If you've got two guys that are the same technically and skill base and experience, it's the mindset that will get you the win. It's massive. I think a lot more now these days. I think people are fully aware of how important the mindset is. Back when I was competing, it was just sort of coming about. It was a bit taboo having mind coaches and psychologists. But now I think all of the top sports have. I've got a very good friend, English champion, who was a stable mate of mine when I was competing. He does that full time. He's been doing it for years. He helped me at the end of my career, and he's been helping me as a coach as well. Alan Whitten, Fighter's Mind. And then I like to read. I like to read a lot of educational stuff, a lot of stuff about. So the stuff I'm drawn to is obviously mindset, sports psychology, things like that. And I think always learning and taking little bits. It's like when you're in Thailand, you go to a Thai gym and then you go to another Thai gym. The technique won't be exactly the same. There'll be bits that work for you and there'll be bits that don't work for you. And I think that's what I've done as a coach as well. So I had so many fantastic coaches and people I learnt from, and I took as much as I could from everyone, and I found out what worked for me. And the fact that I took on board everything, it means sometimes I've got a little bit of information that didn't work for me as a fighter, but I try it with one of my guys and it will work with them. And that's the same with the sports psychology. I try and take on as much as I can and trial and error, really, see what works for some people.
That's awesome. I think that's a differentiator for any athlete in any sport, really. Any books that you would recommend? You mentioned that you're an avid reader. Anything that you would suggest to just the Gen Pop to kind of elevate their mindset?
Yeah, I really recently I read Tim Grosvenor. He's had two, but the winning book he's written, I really enjoyed that recently. Yeah, give that one a try. Ant Middleton is a bit cheesy, but I know that Ant Middleton will work for everybody. The people that want the heavier stuff, it won't work for. But Ant Middleton from the field, I don't know if you're SAS. Who Dares Wins. Right. It's a TV program. I think they've done it all over the world, but he was the main character, the main coach in SAS Who Dares Wins in the English version. I think he actually done the Australian version as well, but he's done 3 or 4 books. I've read them all. They're very good, and they're very light reading. They're very light reading and easy to take on board. And I think everyone would enjoy it and take a bit of that, apart from the people that don't like a little bit of cheesiness. But I do. I like a little bit of, I like a bit of 80s music and a bit of magic, a bit of Disney. So
it sounds right up my alley. So speaking of music, what do you listen to these days?
I like everything. I think in the gym most of the time we've got house and garage. It's like English urban, like upbeat, high tempo, good for training. We like that. I'd have to mention my friend, The Script, Danny O'Donoghue from The Script. Massive fan, and he's a good friend, so I've got to say Danny. But I like a lot. I like the hip hop. I like the old hip hop. I like the stuff. John Haggerty is a very big follower of the UK grime and the UK hip hop. I don't even know if I've said that right. He'll probably pull me up on this, but he has that playing, and I can get into some of his stuff. Like I pretty much, I like, if the guys like something, we have it on in the gym. Like it's not just one thing, so we try and mix it up.
And then for you personally at home, are you an 80s buff? Because you mentioned 80s music.
At home, I like to be a little bit settled, a little bit calm. So I put classical FM on, or John Williams and Hans Zimmer, classical music. But my wife doesn't enjoy it. She thinks psychopaths listen to it. So as soon as she's out of the house, I put that on.
You're like, it's my time.
Yeah.
That's great to hear. I mean, not everyone gives that kind of genre the attention it deserves. So back to Muay Thai, there are a lot of misconceptions about Muay Thai, and you probably experienced them both as a coach and a fighter. What are some common myths about the sport that you love debunking, or maybe that you want to convey to viewers?
I think people just think it's fighting and violence, and it's a rough sport for rough people, but it really isn't anymore. Like, you get people from, and that's like such a beautiful thing about the sport and the gym. We have people from all different walks, totally different spectrums of what they do career-wise, and they all get together, and it sort of breaks down all the barriers of religion and class and everything like that. And it's just people challenge themselves to try and be a little bit better, a little bit stronger, a little bit cleverer every day. And I think that's how we should try and be. I think outside the gym and inside the gym, it's an amazing sport. I'm totally biased. It's an amazing sport.
And speaking of the sport, I know there's different approaches to coaching the sport and fighting styles. So can you explain what your style and your approach is? Is it more of like a hybrid, like old versus new, or is it more traditional?
I think you just hit the nail on the head. I think that's what I try to go for. A little bit of both, like a hybrid between the old style. I mean, some of the stuff I do with the guys that a lot of people have started to do as well and enjoy is sort of from like really old stuff, but they're all thinking it's new, but it's from watching old Muay Boran and really old style Thai boxing with just a little twist and a little bit of a twist and a little bit of a new variant of it.
And by new, do you mean that you're mixing elements from boxing or other combat sports, or just kind of like new things that you feel work?
I think so. Definitely some martial arts use some of the bits. I think I don't like the big boundaries of like, this is Taekwondo, this is Thai boxing, I'm not so much for that. I'm more about what's effective and what works, and it's basically body movement at the end of the day. I don't want to say that and sound like I'm taking away from the amazing Muay Thai, but everything has to evolve, right? And everything has to improve, and that's where I think I'm going with it. I mean, it's good to have your eye on where you're going, but it's also good to know where it's come from.
100%. I think you can't really be too purist about anything in life, or else you're just going to get left behind, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As a nutrition question, what's your approach to it with your fighters, and how important do you think it is for proper fueling and performance?
Massively important, like really important. We've got a really good guy on board with the team, Pete from Condition Nutrition. He looks after a lot of the top guys, a lot of the guys that are coming up as well. And then my wife, Katie Wishover, she's very good with the nutrition. She helps out the guys as well. Yes, it's everything, especially when you're just getting into the sport. Because if you've not been around the sport, being properly fueled and having good nutrition can be quite far away from where they've been. So it can be quite a big shock and a big adjustment to the guys.
And so what kinds of things do you find work for athletes? Do you find the chicken and rice kind of diets, or do you feel like a more balanced approach is always more effective?
I think it depends on the fighter. I've got guys that like swear by keeping it really basic and plain, like you said, just chicken and rice, and they swear by that, because with a little bit of flavour and a little bit of taste, they can go a little bit AWOL. But then a few guys are really good at having variety, but keep keeping it on a calorie cap, and they're really good at doing that. So it's about finding what works for them. And Pete's really good with that. He's really good at giving suggestions. Katie's really good at that as well. Whereas Katie is really good with her own nutrition. She likes it all bland. Like she's like, when I get into a routine and I have the same thing every day, it's so easy to just follow and cut down. So I think giving them options and getting them to find out what works for them.
That makes sense. Like, the last few questions, what's next for you? Are you ever thinking about coaching in other combat sports or MMA, or do you see yourself doing Muay Thai forevermore?
I love Muay Thai. I love K1 kickboxing. I've for a long time now, I've been helping MMA athletes. I help Nathaniel Woods. I don't train him as much as I'd like to, but I train Nathaniel Woods whenever he can get down to me, and I really enjoy doing that. He's doing fantastic things. I keep saying to him, like, a couple more fights and he's got to have a shot at the world title, in my opinion. He's doing fantastic, and I really enjoy that. I've actually been offered positions being stand-up coach for MMA gyms all around the world, actually, and I'm very blessed and grateful for that. It's just very hard because of what I'm trying to build and how much I love the gym. But the answer is I'd love to. I like doing it. It just has to work. There's so much going on. But I'm sure I'll train more MMA fighters. Their stand up. I'm sure of it.
So what's next? What fights do you have coming next that you're really excited for?
There's one that's not been released yet, but keep your eyes peeled because it's going to be released in the next 2 days. I think 2 days. It's massive. Very excited. Cannot wait for that. Lyndon Knowles defends his world title in Perth, Australia, October the 14th, MTGP. Marie McManaman was set to fight for Marie McManaman from Oz, who's the UK #1 female at 52. She's set to fight for the WBC world title. It was meant to be on Raw Fighting Championships, my show, on the 23rd of September, but unfortunately Danny Fall, who's the European champion, has sustained an injury, so she needs a little bit more time. So I'm hoping that will be on December the 3rd, so that's going to be massive. Marie just done absolutely fantastic last year, beating some phenomenal girls to get the UK #1 spot, so she thoroughly deserves that. Liam Nolan getting back on one championship, really looking forward to that. I've got so many of the guys I want to mention. Evan J's, he is awesome. He's been with me a few months now. He had his first fight while under me. I was unfortunately in Thailand, but he looked absolutely amazing, and he's getting better every week, and he's got a big fight, international fight coming up on the Hitman Fight League show on the 18th of November. I'm really looking forward to that. Cave Thompson from mine, who's on a massive winning streak, he's fighting on that same show. Looking forward to that. Now I feel like I'm going to miss someone out who deserves a shout out, but I'm really excited for all the guys. They're doing brilliantly.
You sound like it. Yeah, no, I can sense your passion, and it sounds really exciting times. I just honestly wonder how you do it all, but hats off to you. You're a champ in every regard. Is there anything else you wanted to highlight before we close up? Anything else you wanted to highlight? Anything at all? Business, personal?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. There you have it, fight fans, an epic tour of wisdom and insights from the incredible Christian Knowles. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to keep grinding and chasing your dreams. Okay, so Christian, that's that was my cheesy outro. Thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.